The number one ranked Penn State Nittany Lions are kicking off their season Friday at 6 o'clock Eastern. They're taking on Oklahoma. And these are the 6 biggest storylines coming into that dual meet. And right now we don't have probables. We don't know who each team is necessarily sending. So you're going based off of guesswork and my best guess in this scenario. And really, to me, the number 6 storyline here is the true freshman debut of Marcus Blaze. I believe we will see Marcus Blaze wrestling this year at 133 pounds. I've been talking about this since last year. It just makes too much sense. You don't need to shelf Marcus Blaze. He is a ready-to-go kind of wrestler, and I think that's what he is probably going to show Friday night at Rec Hall. He's, it really starts with his incredible positioning, his head, hands, defense. But what I saw towards the end of the spring and summer is added offense and leg attacks. And I think that's what we're going to see out of Marcus Blaze in his debut. He's going to be a big favorite. I'm not sure who Oklahoma could send. It could be Caden Smith, could be Tyson Charmoli. Either way, big favorite for Marcus Blaze at 133 pounds. They have some other options there, but in my opinion, none better than Marcus Blaze. Number 5, I've got in here Levi Haines Hodge watch. Now, I think we're going to see a different Levi Haines this year, which is a kind of a crazy thing to say because he's a national champion. He's a 3-time All-American. He's kind of done it all at this point. But I think based on what we saw from him in freestyle, I think it's a new level of dominance coming for Levi Haines. His physicality is seemingly improving from an already very high bar. I see his pace and his top work pulling a lot of guys over, getting a lot of pins, and putting himself squarely in that Hodge Trophy race, where his top competition is likely going to be his teammates, particularly Mitchell Messenbrink at 165. Always excited to watch Mitchell wrestle. And for Haynes, he could have a tough matchup. The Oklahoma wrestler he's facing just knocked off Cam Steed, so it's not going to be a pushover for Levi Haines at 174. The number 4 biggest storyline for this Penn State opener is the test for Cole Mursola. Cole Mursola, who I think is going to be the starting heavyweight for Penn State this year. He had a solid redshirt year last year, won some ranked matches, and is already up to number 10 as a freshman. He's going to be taking on Juan Mora, the 24th ranked Oklahoma Sooner. Mora had a nice weekend. He beat Stoner from Missouri. And I think this is a tough little test for Cole Mursola, and will kind of establish, hey, he is a top 10 guy at this heavyweight class, which looks to be a wide open weight class where you could have a lot of guys entering that All-American conversation. And if Penn State wants to go back-to-back years with 10 All-Americans, they're going to need another All-American finish at this weight class. And I think we'll see that Cole Mursola is up for the test. Now, number 3, I have Rocco Welsh versus crazy Brian Soldano. Brian Soldano, this guy's a madman. He goes across his back. He'll, pull a butterfly guard and try to flip you over. He's going to, he'll go down swinging, is Brian Soldano's standard operating procedure. Now, for Rocco Welsh, this is his Penn State debut. Of course, he wrestled a Penn State guy in the NCAA Finals last time we saw him in varsity competition. He since transferred from Ohio State to Penn State, moving up in weight class to 184. And expectations are going to be really, really high for Rocco coming into this year. They're going to expect, production and points and a lot of attacks. And against someone like Brian Soldano, I think you're going to see a lot of points on the board. I would expect them to be in favor of Rocco Welsh. But this is an interesting first test, and I'm excited to see how Rocco looks in his first match for Penn State. Number 2, I got Barr or Mursola. Who do we see on the mat? And we all saw it at U23s. Barr got injured. He got in that gut wrench. It looked like a rib injury. The severity of it is not known, right? This is not information that has been released to the public. You can only speculate on the typical timeline for a rib injury. And so Penn State, in their embarrassment of riches, they've got the former number 1 ranked guy, Connor Mursola, waiting in the wings there at 197 pounds. So who do we see? I don't know. If you see Barr, it's like, okay, wow, quick recovery from that injury. That's great news for Penn State. If not, we'll get a glimpse of Connor Mursola, the twin brother of Cole Mursola. And against DJ Parker, Parker was down at 184 last year. Now he's up at 197. So a ranked first ranked matchup here potentially. Cole or Connor would be ranked if he were in the varsity lineup. So either way, going to be an interesting one at 197. It's just a matter of who does Penn State send out and how healthy is Josh Barr. But the number one for me, the number one storyline is the presumed debut of PJ Duke at 157 pounds. I've been talking about this since last spring. I think it's PJ, and I think it's PJ right away for a variety of reasons. And right now he can make 157. That may not be true 12 months from now, and I think that's the reason you insert him now. While KSAC can redshirt, you let PJ redshirt next year, and then Mitchell graduates, and then it's hunky-dory for KSAC and PJ at least. So I think we're going to see him, and we could see him against another madman, Rafael Hipolito. He was at Virginia Tech. He transferred to Oklahoma. This guy, if you didn't know, he's from Brazil, and he moved to Virginia, went to Virginia Tech for a year, so he has a Brazilian jiu-jitsu background, but now he is a dynamite wrestler. He was, I think, the 4 seed last year at the NCAA tournament, though he did not place. So high pedigree. This is a real test for PJ Duke right away. And I think someone that challenges in the upper body positions like Rafael Hipolito actually is a good thing for PJ because he's really competent out of the seatbelt and underhook. Good hand fighter as a true freshman. And I think that's what we're going to see in PJ Duke's Penn State debut. A lot of hype, a lot of expectation about these recruits, Marcus, PJ Duke, and Rocco Welsh. But don't be surprised if they don't dazzle in their Penn State debut. So that, for me, is what I'm most excited about for Penn State's season opener against Oklahoma. Of course, this is a major weekend in college wrestling. That's going down Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, the National Duels Invitational, sponsored by Paycom. You got Iowa, Oklahoma State. You've got Ohio State, Nebraska, Virginia Tech, Minnesota, Missouri, on and on. I could go. All these wrestlers in one bracket. Going to be an incredible 2 days of wrestling. So, yeah, this is a great weekend to just, if you're not going to one of these matches, get on the couch and watch it. It's going to be an amazing weekend of wrestling. What are you most excited about to watch for this year in Penn State wrestling, particularly this Friday against Oklahoma?